ratios and proportions. One more example. Remember, ratios are a quotient of a fraction. A quotient is a fraction. Talking about the same unit in the numerator and denominator. Rate is a quotient or a fraction, also known as a fraction, with different units. How much salt per water, milligrams per liter. How fast does Usain Bolt run, meters per second, something like that. A proportion then sets up two rates equivalent to one another. This rate equals this rate. And then you can solve by cross-multiplying. Solve by cross-multiplying. 4 times 3 equals 2 times x. And then solve that equation. So let's take a look at this, or that idea, and say, here's another word problem. I got kids. Every time I have to think about, well, let's see, how much medicine do I have to use for this kid? Let's see, if 3 ounces, here's my situation, 3 ounces of medication are required for a 120-pound adult. I guess in this case it's an adult. How much is required for a 180-pound adult? All right, well, I've got, here's my first situation. 3 ounces of medication are required for a 120-pound adult. We've got a rate, so they're telling us to set up a rate. What's our rate? I'm going to set up my rate of ounces per pounds. And if I set up my rate that way, I don't have to worry about where does ounces go and where does pound go, especially if the numbers are pretty close. All right, so my first one is 3 ounces are required for a 120-pound adult. All right, well, that's equivalent to, or at this rate is equivalent to what for a 180-pound adult? 180 pound goes down here, and we want to know how many ounces of medication are required for a 180-pound adult. Before, in my previous example, I said, well, maybe we could just take this one. If this one can be easily multiplied to get to that one, multiply by 6, then multiply the numerator by 6 as well. Well, down here, it doesn't really jump out at you. So we're going to cross-multiply. We can always cross-multiply if we've got one ratio or one fraction equal to another ratio or one fraction. So my left side would be 3 times 180. My right side is x times 120, or 120x. And now 3 times 180, 540 equals 120x. Divide by 120. Divide by 120. On the right side, I've got x equal to 540 divided by 120 is 4.5. Not quite done yet because x equals 1.4. X equals 4.5 solves the equation, but that doesn't really answer our question. Well, so the answer should be 4.5 ounces, because that's what we're looking for. How many ounces would be required for a 180-pound adult? Done.